And I am so elated to have, we've been trying to get. Don't know why I'm getting feedback. Are you hearing feedback for some reason?
I don't hear any feedback. I hear this.
Feedback. Okay. All right. So we're going to go ahead and just get live here. We are live actually. And so we're going to move forward, Andrew, with your presentation here in just a minute. And so I am going to share my slides. All right, guys, we're back. We're live with our small business pitches, and we have Andrew Wright with us today. And we are conducting these every Tuesday at 1 p.m. We also broadcast on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and we do broadcast live on procurementcorner.com. You can also ask your questions at procurementcorner.com if you have any. So we want to make sure that you guys do that. And then, of course, we're going to go right to our agenda, which is going to be Andrew Wright from Federal Engineering Delivery. Hopefully we got that right. All right, we're turning it over to you, Andrew, and I'm going to stop sharing and you go for it. Got 3 to 5 minutes.
Thanks, Jay. I appreciate it. I'll try to make this quick. Federal Engineering Delivery is our company. I'm the owner and president. We were established in 2015, focusing on project management gaps that the federal agencies were experiencing, specifically with the DoD. Just click my next screen here. A little about us here. We are a mature small business, HUBZone certified. The last couple of years, recently obtained the 3 highest sought after ISO certifications: 9001 quality management, 27001 information security, and of course 31000, which is risk management. We are DCAA compliant from an auditing and accounting perspective. And then of course 100% referenceable on all our former contracts, receiving exceptional ratings on all of our past performances. Some of our capabilities are listed on the right-hand side, but some of our higher level targets of recent years has been analytics, cloud computing, enterprise networking, and program management. Recent experience includes a contract under DISA with JSP, the Joint Services Provider for the Pentagon. They provided many of the cloud computing, network infrastructure, support services for the Pentagon. We actually helped to create JSP when it merged with ITA, so the Information Technology Agency for the Army, merged with WHS, the Washington Headquarters Services, to create JSP, when at the time was under Major General Dravis. We currently have some contracts with Department of Commerce, Under Armour in Baltimore, working with Microsoft, and FIS Global, which is a financial networking company. They just bought WorldPay in the UK a couple of years ago. And what we're doing is we're working with them to conduct their network modernization program. And we worked with them for the last couple of years to standardize how their network flows from the companies that they've acquired the last couple of years, standardizing so they can continue to acquire and merge other companies while structuring their network so that it is more resilient and reliant on the services that they have, so they can avoid any outages within their customer base in the UK and in the US. On the right-hand side, similar to the last slide, a little about us. From our contract, this is our employees. All of our employees are cleared, bachelor's degrees or advanced certifications. We try to focus on building a family within our company. So everybody has the opportunity to go attend schooling or get additional certifications, or strive for PTO, or take on jobs within the company that they feel they're passionate about. So we're extremely flexible when it comes to growth and inclusiveness when it comes to our company and what our employees want to do. From a strategic positioning, we talked about the 3 ISO certifications a few slides back, but we're 100% focused on our clients, of course. So you can see on the left-hand side, those arrows that go into the yellow bowl there. And then as you slide down to the right, you'll see all of the ISO certifications that we have, which leads to us a small, mature HUBZone business. This goes into a little more breakout of what we've done within each capability. We're currently working now on, like I said before, logistics, cloud computing, enterprise networking, program management. But of course, some of our former contracts included those that were respective of software development, cybersecurity, and intelligence. This goes into a little more breakout of what our past performance has been. As of recent year, we've actually obtained a new contract with the Army Corps of Engineers, conducting some of their civil support services. Of course, you can't get too detailed into those based on the clearance requirements. And then, of course, you can see the breakout of some of our recent past performance, which I spoke to earlier. I don't want to take up too much time. I know I have a limited time with Jay. And then, of course, why us? We did everything we've done to create a unique small business. As you can see at the top left-hand bullet, about 12,000 hubs in Government, only 12 have 2 ISO certifications. We have 3. And of course, recent changes to DoD, GSA, and NSA's scoring mechanisms within the RFP process pushes those additional company certifications to the top when performing evaluations. So it gets us to that blue rating more easily than some others. You know, they do wrap in past performances, they do wrap in resumes for those key personnel, et cetera. But, you know, having these ISO certifications as a differentiators helps us to ensure success, reduces risk, and of course gets us into that blue rating more easily than it would be if we didn't have those. So if you're looking for a great partner to go with when we go after new work, when you choose to go after new work, especially if it's within DISA or USACE, Army Corps of Engineers, will happily support. We've actually added to our team. So if you look down a little bit further in those bullets, we've actually added to our team. We've got full-time BD staff. We've got full-time, well, not full-time, but we've got editors, graphic designers, proposal writers that are readily available when needed to support any effort that you may pursue, including ourselves as we start to prime work. We're going after GSA Mass and should have that in the next couple of months as our contract vehicle. And then, of course, we're partnered on Polaris, Oasis, JETS, and there's a DHS BBP we're partnered on as well to go after. So we should open the door for us for many opportunities to come. So if you're looking for a reliable partner or just looking to have a discussion in general about ways we can support one another, please reach out and let me know. I'd be happy to discuss in more detail. Any questions or comments from the group?
Am I unmuted now? I am so technically challenged over here today. It's just unbelievable. I had some problems yesterday as well, so you're just going to have to excuse me.
No problem.
Okay, we have some questions out here. What agency did you perform logistics work for?
Logistics was also under JSP. So we've helped to, there was some procurements that had to take place when we purchased the workstations for all the users as they onboarded to one domain. And we had to coordinate with the warehouse team to support the procurement, assignment, and then redistribution of those workstations to all the agencies that relied on JSP as their primary service provider.
Okay, and next question is, it says, can you perform work on the West Coast? If so, do you have a native partner with 8A status?
So 2 questions in there. Yes, we can perform work on the West Coast. Most of our current contracts, they actually work remotely. So we do have, I believe we have 2 resources on the West Coast currently. And from an 8A partner, we do have several 8A partners that are preferred that we've worked with in the past and currently work with now. But it would depend on the opportunity and what their strengths were and what you were looking for if we could bring those in to have a further detailed discussion on what the scope of work is.
Okay. Andrew, I think the native that they're speaking of is a native 8A, which would be an Alaskan native company or an American native company.
So I do have one Alaskan native company that I'm in constant communication with, but I have not performed any work with them as of yet, but we're hopefully going to target some work in the near future. We just have to find the right opportunity to pursue. But if there's somebody looking to be introduced to them and we can figure a way to partner together and make it work, we're happy to do it.
Okay, so for the person that actually put that question in, you can actually send more information to info@procurementcorner.com, and then we'll be able to reach out to Andrew and provide that information to you. because we're not sure right now at this point what the past performance of that native would be or what would be required. Okay, so the next question is how many direct employees does your company have?
We are about 10 now. So we have to, and that includes, some of our hubs and resources that, require us to be compliant, to help with some of our administrative staff, but about 10. We should be at 12 by the end of the month.
Okay, and we have, let's see here. The next one is how many years of cloud computing experience does your company have? And its second question on there says describe your past performance.
So cloud computing is, I'd say probably 3.5 maybe. One of our key engineers is working on one now, but basically we're responsible for, similar to what JSP did, responsible for right sizing their cloud environment. So making sure that we know exactly which cloud services and compute requirements are required for each agency's needs. So if, agency one required 17 virtual workstations with so much RAM, so much compute, so much storage, leveraging that based on what they actually need, it's called right sizing. So we would take that into consideration to assess whether and how much to charge and to compensate them within our environment. So we'd have to pull the resources from at the time, it was called the installation processing node, which is the Pentagon's cloud system, and then which they're moving to, some of the more public cloud services. But right now we're doing some of the virtual hosting platform migrations for many of our other clients as well, to include MITRE and FIS.
The next question that we have here is we're looking for HubZone to perform project management. How can you help?
Honestly, I probably have 200, maybe even 300 project management resumes. If you're looking for HubZone to help with any type of project management, you let me know. We have certified project managers with Scrum certifications, with Project Server, Project Microsoft Project, with Primavera. You just let me know where they're needed, if it's remote or in person, and we will do everything in our power to make sure that you find the right support services for your HubZone needs, especially with project management. We started as a project management company. It's our bread and butter. We've done well at it and would love to help in any way we can.
Great. Okay. One thing I will say for the person that asked that question as well, please be sure to send over any requirements that you might have that we can direct to Andrew to info@procurementcorner.com. And then he'll be able to address that, and we can connect you guys to make sure that if he's a fit, where you can do some market research with this company. Okay.
Sounds great.
All righty. We have another question. Do you have CPARs with Army C? Oh, I guess that must be Army Corps Engineers.
So as of right now, we don't have CPARs yet. We're actually a third tier sub on USACE. We're trying to obtain agency intimacy as we approach and pursue new opportunities within USACE. So we leverage our network to join the USACE RITS program, which is their larger IT contract that supports all their districts and divisions within the US. And so right now, while our prime, which is the second tier sub, would give us accolades, we don't have CPARs to answer the question.
Okay. One thing I would suggest to the person that asked that, if you do reach out, I'll have you to reach out to me on this particular one. And what I will do is work with your organization, Andrew, through the Prime to get their information as on your performance.
Okay.
So you can get to the one that you're reporting to. So if you're third tier down, we'll do the second tier.
Okay.
Contract there to get some feedback. And for that person there from the Army Corps Engineers, we will make sure that we do a third party. So we'll get the contact information. We will contact them directly with questions that we have. If you have additional questions that you would like to have answered, once we send that out, then you can get me at j@procurementcorner.com, and that's JAY. And I'll provide my information as well at the end of the session. Okay. The next one is someone who wants you to provide more details on your DISA work.
So DISA work was all JSP or ITA. So I was there through, when was this? Past 9 years or so under DISA as a whole. ITA was probably the first 3 years of that, and then JSP was the follow on. So we've worked in operations, enterprise. We've worked in business and accounting within JSP. So trying to merge, we were part of the liaison group with the strategic programs group, where we were responsible for creating JSP. We monitored and tracked all of their software deployments. We were responsible for, again, goes back to logistics, tracking all the procurements, all the workstations, all the Windows deployments and upgrades. We were responsible for managing the enterprise briefings to, at the time, was Joel Cassell, then it was Mr. Garcia, then it was General Dravis, Ms. Hutchinson. So we've been in and out of every division and reorg within JSP for the last several years. And currently right now we're working with them on, not actively, but going after some interesting work in JSP. So if you're following JSP, you're probably aware that some of the contracts that are coming due. But they also have JSP Futures now, which I think is JP7, going after their strategic roadmap and trying to align our services with what the agency is trying to accomplish, so that we can bring our commercial performance and successes over to the government to help them adapt with their emerging technologies and pursue the newer fields within the technology arena, so that they can be more secure and reliant.
Okay. Now, we didn't have a question, but there was a person that has some personal services that they wanted to offer. And so I have sent an email over to you with that person's contact information.
Okay, I appreciate it.
Okay. Now, I can tell you, we haven't vetted this particular individual from a professional services perspective, but they do have a company that is within our services that doesn't connect to those services. Okay. So, yeah. So if if you're interested, they have provided their information and you can contact them directly.
I appreciate it.
Okay. Perfect. Okay. So that's going to just about wrap it up for us. I am going to come back here and hopefully share my screen again, and I will provide the contact information that I promised. If you still have questions, you want to reach out, please feel free to do so. I am J. McElroy, 240-462-8890. That's 240-462-8890. J. McElroy. And you can get me on email at j@procurementcorner.com. And we are so grateful that all of you have joined us. We look forward to bringing additional companies to you next week. Until then, we'll see you later.
Thanks, Jay. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.